A previously untold story about Todd Chrisley raging on a car rental service has just leaked. Where did this story leak and what happened that caused Todd to rage on a car rental service? Keep reading for the details. Todd Chrisley rages on car rental service, untold story leaks. An individual claiming to have worked for a car rental service in California recalls having the pleasure of booking a vehicle for Todd Chrisley. The individual explained that the disgraced reality TV star needed to rent a vehicle so he could get his hair cut in California. They continued to recall, "This was the first time I booked him a car rental. I didn't even think about it, and I booked him a 4-door sedan." Unfortunately, this individual ended up feeling the wrath of Todd Chrisley as he was displeased by the service he received and the vehicle that was booked. "He called me up from the rental place and yelled at me, Todd Chrisley, don't drive a Ford Taurus, you never book me anything less than a Lexus. That it was totally unacceptable and it better not happen again." The employee said they apologized before hanging up the phone and thinking Todd was a total douchebag. They added, concluding their post, "God forbid Todd was seen in a Ford." Fans react to this story. The thread revealing this story of Todd Chrisley raging on a car rental service has only been posted for about 2 hours. But, it already has about 10 comments from fans reacting to it. For the most part, fans admit they could easily picture Todd doing something like this. So, they believe this was a story that actually happened. Here's some of what fans had to say. "Hilarious. Can totally hear/see this. I still don't get the whole going to California for a haircut thing. What he had could have been done at great clips. So funny. What he would do to be free driving a Ford." Many fans thought it was ironic as Todd would probably love to be free enough to drive a Ford right now. Why is this Todd Chrisley story just coming out now? Now, the biggest question fans have is pretty simple. Why is this story just now coming out of the woodwork? There isn't a clear answer to this. But, Todd Chrisley was a man who didn't hesitate to file a lawsuit against someone who slandered him or anyone in his family. Without proof that this interaction happened, Todd Chrisley could have easily tried to go after this individual for slander. Todd, however, is behind bars and losing lawyers due to failure to pay them. So, it is possible this individual just feels safe to share this story now. Can you picture Todd Chrisley raging on a car rental service for renting him the wrong type of vehicle? Let us know in the comments down below. And, keep coming back for more Chrisley news. It was supposed to be a quiet day, a routine business trip for Todd Chrisley, known for his sharp tongue and immaculate sense of style on Chrisley Knows Best. But when Todd arrived at the car rental agency, it was clear from the moment he stepped out of his black luxury SUV that this wouldn't be any ordinary experience. Dressed in a tailored navy blue suit with gold cufflinks, sunglasses perched on his nose, and his usual confident swagger, Todd was not prepared for the ordeal that awaited him. Little did anyone know, a battle was brewing, and the untold story of Todd Chrisley's rage against the car rental service was about to unfold in spectacular fashion. The initial conflict. The trouble began when Todd, fresh off a flight, stepped into the bustling car rental office. A couple of fans recognized him, whispering excitedly and snapping photos from the corner of the room. Todd, ever the showman, waved politely and made his way to the front desk. "Excuse me?" Todd interjected, raising an eyebrow. His southern charm flickered, but there was a sharp edge to his tone. "Did you just say the car I requested, the one I specifically booked, isn't available?" The woman's hands trembled slightly as she fumbled through a stack of papers. Yes, it looks like there was an issue with." "Issues?" "Sweetheart, you don't even know the meaning of the word issues. Let me tell you about an issue." Todd leaned in, lowering his sunglasses. "An issue is when you've had a long day, you've flown halfway across the country, and all you want is for something to go smoothly for once. Is that too much to ask?" Todd's growing frustration. By now, the entire office was on edge. Employees behind the counter exchanged nervous glances as Todd's voice escalated. Several customers stopped what they were doing, all eyes on the growing commotion. A few fans discreetly recorded the scene on their phones, eager to capture what was sure to become viral content. The manager, a middle-aged man with thinning hair and a forced smile, rushed over to defuse the situation. "Mr. Chrisley, we sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. I'm sure we can work something out." "Oh, you'll work something out?" Todd shot back. "What you should have done is work it out before I walked through that door. It's called planning, people. I don't understand how you can charge someone for a service you can't even provide. I booked that car weeks ago." "Weeks?" The manager held up his hands defensively. "I understand, sir, but we had an unexpected issue with the vehicle. We'd be happy to offer you a top-tier SUV at no extra charge." "An SUV? Do I look like I want an SUV?" Todd snapped. "I don't care what kind of issue you had with the car. I came here for one reason, and that's to get what I paid for. I'm not driving around in some oversized family van like I'm running errands. This is business." The tipping point. It wasn't long before Todd's frustration boiled over. His face turned red with anger, and his usually composed demeanor crumbled. To those who had watched his reality show, this wasn't the first time they'd seen Todd's fiery side, but this level of fury was different. It was raw, unfiltered, and deeply personal. "Let me tell you something," Todd said, pointing directly at the manager. "You don't know who you're dealing with. I built an empire from nothing. I know how to run a business, and let me tell you, if this is how you treat your customers, it's no wonder you've got a 1-star rating on Yelp." The manager's face paled. "Mr. Chrisley, we're doing everything we can." "Clearly, you're not doing everything you can," Todd interrupted, his voice now a cold, cutting whisper. "Because if you were, I'd be driving out of here in the car I reserved." The unexpected twist. Just as the situation seemed to reach a breaking point, a surprising twist unfolded. A man in a suit, who had been quietly observing from the back of the office, approached Todd and the manager. He introduced himself as a regional director for the car rental company, explaining that he had overheard the situation and was there to personally resolve the matter. "Mr. Chrisley, I sincerely apologize for what's happened today," the director began, his tone smooth and diplomatic. "I understand this has been a frustrating experience, and I assure you this is not representative of how we do business." Todd crossed his arms, glaring at the director. "You better hope it's not." The director quickly pulled out his phone, making a few calls before turning back to Todd. "I've arranged for a luxury vehicle.